the Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television series that helps military veterans find jobs and transition into meaningful careers. I'm Lauren Wanko. Today we're coming to you from the Society for Human Resource and Management Annual Conference and Exposition in Washington, D.C., where we're talking with HR professionals who are making a strong impact on the military community. You'll meet hiring managers, veterans, and learn helpful tips about your transition. Log on to our website, hiringamerica.net, for more information. And don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. As the Executive Director of the SHRM Foundation, Mark Schmit leads in the efforts to advance the direction and impact of the human resources profession. He joins us now here in Washington, D.C. at the company's annual meeting. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
What is the SHRM Foundation?
The SHRM Foundation is the philanthropic arm of SHRM, and as such, we take donations and we use those donations to fund HR scholarships as well as academic research.
We met actually one of your scholarship recipients, Jessica Collins. She's also a veteran. Do many veterans apply for these scholarships?
Yes, we get many applications from veterans. This was our first year doing a veteran scholarship to the annual conference, and we're delighted that Jessica won the award. She's a great representation for the profession.
If this is the first year that you're awarding veteran scholarships, clearly you saw the need and the importance. Why?
Yeah, well, we recognize that they have a very unique perspective and a very unique set of skills that they can bring to the HR profession. And many of them come from highly skilled HR jobs within the military, and that translates very well into the HR programs within corporations and small businesses around the country.
What is SHRM doing to help veterans transition in the coming years?
Yeah, we're doing many things. With the scholarships, we help educate them in different ways from the education they might have coming into the military. With the effective practice guidelines, we're able to give them tools and resources to be able to upskill to some of the new ways that HR is being practiced within organizations today. We have ways for them to get certified to be HR practitioners at both a junior level and a senior level. So many different ways to integrate them better into the civilian workforce.
Tell us about the SHRM Foundation's philanthropic efforts in terms of helping veterans with HR professional development.
In the past, the SHRM Foundation gave scholarships to folks who had a need and who had achieved a great deal in their careers already, and we wanted to give them a leg up for the next part of their mission. But what we recognize is that there are many other groups that weren't being represented in those scholarships we were giving. So we decided to target specifically at groups who had challenges as they came either out of the military or disabilities or other challenges they might face in integrating into the workforce. And so we've started to focus on those groups to bring them along with the rest of our members.
How do you work with HR managers to help them realize the importance of hiring veterans and to maximize their recruiting strategies?
Yeah, oftentimes employers don't know about the valuable skills that veterans can bring, or they might not realize that the transfer of skills and knowledge from the military oftentimes doesn't look exactly like those skills that they're trying to hire for in the workforce, and they have to make a bit of an effort, and we're trying to educate them that the effort really is worth it, because you get a highly skilled professional with a great attitude and a great sense of responsibility. Loyalty is big for organizations, and they've got it.
Which industry tends to hire the most veterans?
Well, most industries will hire veterans, but it might be more of a levels issue, right? So when you have infantry, for example, it's harder sometimes to translate those skills into civilian skills. So you're a gunner, right? Okay, well, what does that mean in civilian terms? And so there's a number of different resources that are being developed to help make those translations. Now at the senior level, many of the folks that come from the military have come from the command and control kind of environment. And then they go into an environment that's very much a diffuse decision making, not so much hierarchy. And so they need mentors, they need educators to help them translate, or I should say transfer from that mentality to a new mentality.
And is it just as important to be able to educate HR managers to help identify this and make this translation as well?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the keys is building a culture of inclusionness so that these veterans feel included in the organization, they feel valued, and you give them the resources they need to make that transition. If that happens, we've seen tremendous results. Mentor programs, for example, where you put a mentor with one of the incoming vets, can really help them understand the difference between their past culture and the culture they're growing into now.
For veterans interested in your scholarships, where can they go for more information?
They can come to the SHRMFoundation.org website. We have all the qualifications and criteria there for the program, and we have both academic scholarships for them as well as scholarships to annual conference and some of our smaller conferences at SHRM as well.
Mark, thanks for joining us on Hiring America.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be back with more from the SHRM Annual Conference and Exposition in Washington, D.C.
Continue the conversation on our Facebook page and Twitter, and visit our website at hiringamerica.net.
Well, let's talk a little bit about lifelong learning. When you think of attending conferences and you think of professional development, professional education, what do you look for?
I definitely have to say building that strong platform and networking, because it's not always about what you know, but who you know and what resources are available to you for you to use.
After 11 and a half years with the U.S. Navy, Jessica Collins is now embarking on a new career as a human resource professional. She's also one of the recipients of the SHRM Foundation Annual Conference and Exposition Scholarships, and she joins us here in Washington, D.C. Thanks for being here on Hiring America.
Thank you for having me.
How did you become a scholarship recipient?
Well, I received the email through the SHRM Foundation, and I saw they were specifically giving out scholarships for veterans. So I applied, I gave it a shot, and here I am today.
What do you hope to gain from this conference?
Well, I'm already gaining it, meeting new people. All the exhibits are just, it's almost like a state or county fair, but 1,000 times bigger. It's like the Grammys of the HR.
Tell me a little bit about your military service. You trained as a cryptologist. What is that?
My specialty was actually I analyzed energy off of radars and missiles, and I applied that to surface and airborne platforms.
And when did you transition out of the military?
February of 2013.
You went to school soon after that?
Yes, I pursued my undergrad in business administration, and now I'm currently in my master's program for human resource management.
You served on a missile-guided destroyer.
Yes.
How does somebody who did that decide, hey, let me go into a career in HR?
Well, while I was on board the USS Gridley, which is the missile-guided destroyer, I had the opportunity to serve as a leader, where I was managing and leading people, a staff of 25 technicians, and I was doing the day-to-day operations and helping them with personal and professional growth. And under my direction, 65% of those personnel, they went on to receive promotions, advancement, Sailor of the Year awards, and I was always told, you know, Petty Officer Collins, because of you, I was able to achieve this. So I just applied that to the civilian world, which is human resources.
Were you initially apprehensive about jumping into the civilian workforce?
Oh, definitely. Just after so many years of doing cryptology, it was the only thing I knew. And I literally went to the Navy right after high school. So even in the Navy, I grew up. I became an adult. So I definitely had my apprehension about pursuing a career on the civilian side.
Have you faced, though, any challenges in making this transition and deciding that you were going to enter the civilian workforce?
I have, but I definitely think without any challenges, that doesn't build you up. So I welcome challenges because I know that's only going to make me better.
Did you gain specific skills in the military that you're able to say, this can apply perfectly to a career in the HR industry?
Yes, a lot. I would have to say written and verbal communication, dealing with emotional intelligence, mentoring and coaching personnel, as well as just leading people on a day-to-day basis to achieve an objective.
What's your advice to other veterans in a similar situation making that transition into the civilian workforce?
Use your resources. The resources that are out there, and they're for us. There's so many people wanting to hire veterans. There are so many people who are on the lookout for us. There's so many organizations that just want to hone in on our skills.
What would you tell other HR managers who might not be veterans about recruiting other vets into the workforce?
We're trained to always arrive early. We take a certain pride in our work because, as service members, it was our job to protect the country. We carry a sense of honor and integrity that I always apply to my work. I always do the best that I can. We always take on challenges. In the civilian sector, I'm always hungry. I'm always wanting to do more.
As a human resources manager, how do you plan on working with fellow veterans?
I'm already doing that now. At my school, I mentor and coach veteran students, and then me just winning this award already gives me the platform to go ahead and help veterans that are pursuing a career in HR.
Jessica, thanks for joining us here on Hiring America.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity.
We'll be back with more of Hiring America in a moment.
If you're in the military and looking to get a job with Sodexo, it's a great opportunity. It progresses your career along in Sodexo as it would in the military.
When we recruit and pull from the military, they already have a concept of success built into them. And I believe that's extremely important when you're building a team.
Sodexo is a leading provider of quality of life services and has been consistently recognized as a top military veteran employer by GI Jobs. Joining us here in Washington, D.C. is Dr. Rohini Anand, Senior Vice President and their Global Chief Diversity Officer for Sodexo. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell us about Sodexo.
We're the 19th largest employer in the world. We have 430,000 employees in over 80 countries, in 34,000 locations, and we touch 75 million customers a day. And we provide quality of life services, as you said, in several lines of business. So, in hospitals, for instance, we provide both the patient food as well as we maintain the hospitals. We provide the concierge services. We provide the transportation for the patients. We maintain the equipment in the hospital. So everything that's non-core to a hospital. So, beyond covering sort of patient care, medical care, all of the other services are things that Sodexo provides. And we do this for hospitals, assisted living facilities, corporations, government agencies. We also have another line of business where we provide sort of personal and home services. So that includes concierge services, senior care. So it's a very sort of a diverse portfolio of services that we provide.
Which means that there must be a lot of jobs available at Sodexo.
Absolutely right, absolutely.
Why is global diversity so important in the workplace, especially at Sodexo?
For us, diversity and inclusion is critical. We know that our workplaces are getting more and more diverse. We know that the consumer population is getting more and more diverse. So I think that's sort of a no-brainer, it's a given. And in order for organizations to really get the best talent, we have to be leaders in diversity and inclusion. At the end of the day, Sodexo is a people business. We want to get the best talent. So diversity is a given, but we also have to harness the power of that diverse talent, creating an inclusive culture where employees can really thrive, they can flourish, and offer the very best in order to create innovative solutions for our clients and our customers.
Sodexo is well known for hiring members of the military community.
Absolutely.
How does the company go about doing this?
We know that the unemployment rate for the veteran population is very high. We also know that there are about 22 million veterans in the United States today. And this is sort of an excellent opportunity for us to tap into that population and hire, because there are certain skills that are very transferable. So we have executives at a very senior level who are veterans, and we have individuals throughout the organization that have served in the United States forces. And in terms of hiring, any one of the many job fairs that you can think of, we participate in. We do online recruiting, but we also have partnerships with certain universities, like University of Phoenix, for instance. We have a partnership with University of Buffalo. where we both get interns in, but we also partner with their Veterans Affairs departments as well as their disabilities offices in order to hire veterans and people with disabilities.
Why are veterans an asset to Sodexo?
I would say two key reasons. One would be that they come from an organization that is so incredibly diverse. So, we look to hire individuals who are comfortable with diversity, who can work with diversity, who can manage diverse teams and work with colleagues who are diverse, and they're already used to that. And the second would be the service mindset. They're providing the highest service to the country, and clearly Sodexo is a service provider company, so clearly those two things really are quite an asset that the veterans bring to Sodexo.
What special skills do veterans bring to the table that make them well suited for careers at Sodexo?
We have found that the skills are just incredible. Veterans, from our experience, have tremendous team leadership skills. They're able to lead and manage and motivate large teams, which is, for us absolutely critical, because at the end of the day, we're delivering services through our teams. They're also able to do a variety of different tasks and multitask, and also work on a schedule, meet deadlines that our clients have. So I think all of these things together create strong leadership and general management skills. And it's a question of really translating what they've done to the workplace, and we help veterans to do that, to make that translation so that they can get jobs in corporations like ours.
And how do you help HR managers also make that translation as well?
We actually have a special recruiting team that focuses on veterans, and that recruiting team works with our HR managers to help them understand those transferable skills. A lot of this has to do with, it's not just about recruiting, right? It's about the culture of an organization. And one of the things that I will mention is we have what we call employee business resource groups. And we have 9 of them. We have one for people with disabilities called SOAR. We have one for veterans called Honor. And what these organizations do is to help to change the culture and engage the organization. So just as an example, right, the Honor Veterans Employee Business Resource Group does a lot in partnership with our recruiting organization. They also go out and give trainings on resume writing, on how do you articulate your transferable skills. So they help the veterans to do that. On the flip side, they help our managers to really understand the value that veterans bring to the workplace. And they engage our employees in providing and engaging with the community. So all of this collectively changes the culture in an organization so that the managers recognize the value that veterans bring to the workplace.
Thank you for joining us on Hiring America.
Thank you so much.
The U.S. trucking industry has committed to hiring 100,000 veterans in the next 2 years. Military experience, regardless of MOS, is highly valued. You can find these jobs from leading employers on the website truckingtrack.org. One of the leading employers of veterans in the trucking industry is TMC Transportation.
My name is Devin Tanner. I'm a driver for TMC. I've been with the company for about 4 months now. TMC is a great company to work for. I did a lot of research on trucking companies, and they offer some of the best home time you can get in the industry, as well as benefits and pay comparable to other companies. Driving this truck is actually pretty awesome. You have a lot of room on the inside. Truck's reliable, and it gets you from point A to point B. People automatically assume that in the trucking industry, oh, you're just gone and you just drive all day. Well, it's not really the case. You get customer interaction. I meet different people every day. Being in flatbed, you get to get out. You're on the loads. You're strapping down and tarping the loads, and you make sure that nothing was damaged en route. If you stick with it, it can be a very rewarding career. Being able to come to these events means a lot to me. It's a chance to talk to fellow service members and veterans separating, and allows me to talk to them about the struggles that I had, separating from the service, and then the benefits of a company like TMC in the transportation industry.
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about more companies who are hiring veterans. And don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can find helpful tips and watch full episodes of the show. I'm Lauren Wanko. Join us again next week for another episode of Hiring America.
Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who've served. This program made possible by the generous support of the following companies: